Okay, so this module is about tectonic plates, and we're going to focus on this area of the Pacific known as the Ring of Fire, and it actually extends into the rest of the Pacific, which is down there by the United States and Hawaii and all that, but I have a flat map of around Earth, so we're going to focus on this area over here. Tectonic plates are basically giant pieces of rock that are floating, I guess, on top of the mantle, which is the inner layer, the middle layer of the Earth, and it's completely molten rock. It's not solid. And so the solid rock sits on top of the molten rock, and it can move around, and it doesn't happen very quickly. It's not like you can go out and be like, oh, look, there goes that island drifting by. I mean, it doesn't work like that. It's a very slow process. But it does allow these plates to move. And there's not just a few plates. There are a lot of different plates. And many continents have more than one plate. For example, India right there is a different plate than the rest of Asia up here. And, Saudi Arabia is a different plate than part of Africa. And there's several plates in the United States. California is one, and then there's this kind of the Rocky Mountains are the border between two more, and then the rest of the eastern United States is another one. So there's all different kinds, and even like under the ocean, there are plates that may not have any land mass over it at all, other than say the bottom of the ocean. But as these plates move apart from one another, run into each other, or slide past each other, it can cause natural disasters, things like earthquakes and tsunamis and volcanoes. And volcanoes are very common in what we call the Ring of Fire. And that is this entire ring, basically, if you were to draw a big circle around the Pacific Ocean, extending down there as well, this is the area that you're likely to find a lot of volcanoes or earthquakes. And we know that California, when you think of California and natural disasters, earthquakes are what comes to mind. And all of those are a result of these tectonic plates continually moving away from each other, towards each other, or sliding past each other. And I'm going to try to set my iPad down so I can show you what I'm talking about. We'll see how well this works. Okay. I hope I don't look ridiculous. Okay, so when the tectonic plates collide with each other, it can cause mountains to form. As they run into each other, it forces the ground up. But obviously these plates are really large, so when they bump into each other like that, it's not just going to force a mountain up and then that's the end of it. It's going to cause earthquakes and all kinds of other movement of the other plates where land masses are. When they pull apart from each other, it can cause a valley. It can cause the earth to sink in, kind of, where that used to be, which also can cause those. But when they move apart from one another, it can also cause volcanoes. Because since these plates are sitting on top of molten lava, magma, that's what it's called, it's blocking that magma from being able to go up through that volcano. So if it moves away, now all of a sudden there's a clear shot, and that can cause a volcanic eruption. But more often than not, earthquakes are caused by plates that are sliding past each other. And it's because they're not smooth. It's not like they're just, doing this and there's no big deal. It's very rocky and bumpy and everything, and so when they slide past each other, they tend to catch and then release, and this causes earthquakes because the ground is unstable, and it's then when it releases, it stops that. So some of the worst earthquakes and tsunamis in recent history have occurred in Japan and Indonesia. There was one, I think it was 2011 or 12. There was a really bad one in Japan, and the tsunami took out several cities. There was one in 2004, I think, on Christmas Day. There was actually an earthquake out here somewhere in the Indian Ocean, and it caused a tsunami that was really bad in this area, also in parts of India. Sri Lanka was hit pretty bad, and even the eastern coast of Africa was affected. And these are natural disasters that are going to occur as a result of this and this plate movement that we're seeing here from these tectonic plates. there are some questions you'll have to answer before you can move on to the next module, but I hope this video was informative for you.